Provoked by the rising body count of protesters and the imminent execution of a young Iranian rebel, there is massive uncertainty tonight, viewer, over whether President Trump will pull the trigger on Iran. Everyone's wondering, he's been threatening, he's been saying help is coming. What does he plan to do? What appears clear is that given the mood of the US president, he is unlikely to back down until regime change actually takes place in Iran. Trump sees this as a window of opportunity to do what he has wanted to do for years since his first tenure as the American president. I've been speaking to analysts for the last 48 hours to throw together what I'm now going to show you is a 9-step escalation ladder for how things could in one scenario actually play out. And if the last few days are any indication, viewer, nothing is too far-fetched. So let's begin with how this escalation may actually take place. Step number 1, the execution of Irfan Soltani. He is the young Iranian rebel who, after hundreds of protester deaths in that country, the Iranian regime plans to hang a prominent protester, the young Irfan Soltani. Trump escalates, this is of course an imagined scenario, but by saying that a red line has been crossed, and he urges protesters to arm themselves and seize local institutions immediately. Now this, mind you, is a simulation of how things could actually play out. Step number 2, what happens next? Covert aid is then sent to Iran protesters. This, some say, is already actually happening. The US deploys drones for covert airdrops to protester groups, enabling protester groups early seizure of police stations and media outlets. Then this escalates to step number 3, which is cyber attacks on Iran infrastructure. US and Israel launched cyber attacks to disable networks, power grids in key cities of Iran and command centers, creating chaos, allowing protesters to seize government buildings without immediate regime response. Then we go on to step number 4, where there are proxy strikes that take place via US allies. The US is not involved directly yet. In this, basically you have the US authorizing Israeli and Saudi airstrikes on Iran's supply lines, clearing paths for protesters to advance into the deeper areas of Iran, the sensitive sites. Then comes step number 5, where direct arming and training support begins, courtesy the United States. When this happens, the US escalates aid with heavier weapon drops like anti-tank missiles and mines and embedded special forces. That's the most important thing, facilitating coordinated seizures of provincial capitals and institutions in the most important parts of Iran. Then we move to step number 6, targeted drone strikes on suppression forces. In this, the US conducts drone strikes on Iranian units involved in protest suppression, protecting seized sites. This is very easy for the United States to do because they've got bases to operate drones from virtually all around Iran. So it's actually pretty simple for them. Then comes step number 7, which is broader airstrikes. This is where the real might of the US military could hypothetically come into play. Airstrikes and blockade enforcement around Iran. The US bombs Iranian bases and enforces a naval blockade around the Persian Gulf, while airlifting advanced gear directly to protester groups to seize central institutions of Iran. Then comes step number 8, which is very crucial. This is the penultimate step, top-level assassination operations. The US ramps up with precision strikes, eliminating the supreme leader, the Khamenei, the IRGC generals through allied special operations or direct missile hits or decapitation operations, as they are called. And finally, viewer, step number 9 is regime change in Iran. This is the end game. This is the outcome that President Trump wants. Whether it takes this path or not is anybody's guess, but this could be one hypothetical extreme escalation scenario as to the way it works out. The US sustains massive airstrikes, enabling protesters and groups to carry out regime fracture and transition to a new government. 9 steps to a new Iran.